What's up everyone and welcome to another Warframe video. It's Tenno Reinforcement Day today with some new cosmetics. Has come a new weapon, the Quatz. I can't say that with a straight face, I don't know how it's supposed to be said, but we're going to go with that. But hey, let's dive in, take a look at it, see whether it's any good or not. Mastery rank 9 weapon, found on the market as a blueprint. It's not that expensive to build, just over 12,000 salvage. Might be a bit, but honestly, by Mastery 9, you're going to likely have that amount of salvage several times over. Also, it's going to require a couple Argons, so you're probably going to have to go to the Void to go and grab those. The weapon itself comes with a dual fire mode style. The weapon mode and the fire modes are actually tied into the aiming states. If you're not aiming down the sights, the weapon is in full auto mode. Got a decent enough base damage for full auto secondaries, which has got some electricity damage thrown in there, which is really nice. It's going to combine well into radiation and corrosive combos very, very nicely. It's got lowish crit though, below average crit damage multiplier, but really good status. If you're aiming down the sights though, it changes into a burst mode that fires the first 4 shots, one after the other. Same base damage as the full auto, but it's got really good crit, really good crit damage at the cost of a bit of status chance. That's all there is to say on the stats of the weapon, quite frankly. There's nothing really that special about the fire modes. Full auto is about as standard as a full auto weapon can be, and the secondary is very much like the Quatz, except instead of all the rounds coming out at once, it's a very fast 4-round burst. However, the weapon does have a unique mechanic, which is that if you're reloading the weapon when the magazine's completely empty, then the weapon reload does an electric AoE explosion of around 5 meters with a guaranteed electric proc. It does basically no damage whatsoever though, it is just for the proc, and that will stun them all in place while you finish your reload. Nice for a close range sort of melee units, but the low range means it is a bit of a limited use and more of a gimmick than a usable thing. So build wise, what did I settle on? Well, it ended up being a bit of a crit status hybrid. It's nothing particularly crazy, but it gives us the best of both worlds. Pushing our corrosive proc chance higher, we're using a 90% in there for the elemental combo, rather than using, for example, Augur Pact or Prime T to charge, which would dilute our corrosive procs, because you would have the extra heat proc thrown in. And while the crit chance isn't really good enough to push full crit on the full auto, it allows us to strip armor with our full auto, and finish up by pumping a couple of bursts into the head of your enemy with the aimed shots. This is absolutely the sort of best of both worlds build. Second one though is one that is possibly one of the best out there, and that is for a condition overload procer. For this though, you are going to need some kick-ass recoil control, because to say this kicks like a bucking bronco is a bit of an understatement. Max out your fire rate, we're going for corrosive and blast, we're going to strip armor off, knock down the target. You actually get a double proc for condition overload from blast. This strips armor so fast it's not even funny, and allows you to follow up with a massive hit from your condition overload boosted weapon. My choice for this is the Redeemer Prime. This actually, this combo, scales a million miles further than I can actually show in the simulacrum, because that amount of procs plus condition overload, yeah, it absolutely obliterates absolutely everything. So what do I think of the Quatz? Well, to be honest with you, it took a while to grow on me. While leveling this thing, forming it up, I didn't really get on with it that much. But as I grew into it, I could feel the power. In all honesty, I wish that the weapon had a toggle for which mode you're using rather than it being tied to aim states. I'm a person that habitually aims. I've aimed down the sights in every single shooter I have ever played, and I hated ones that you couldn't, such as Counter-Strike. So, having weapons dictate how I play after all of this time, I'm not entirely sure I kind of like that much. There is one thing you can do to kind of cheat the system though, and that is you can start shooting without aiming, then aim down the sights, and it will keep going with the full auto until you stop firing or you need to reload. It's a bit of an annoying way to deal with it, but it does work. Another downside of this weapon is that if you use the full auto a lot, this thing will use up all of the ammo in the universe and then some. I was running carrier with ammo case in the footage, and still running out. It's absolutely insane how quickly this thing runs dry. But those things aside, it is absolutely a great weapon. I'd love a ribbon for my condition overload procer with minus recoil, so I don't draw a nice neat outline around the enemy when I'm not paying attention when I fire. and I think a good ribbon for this would take it to the next level. It's nice when initial impressions are wrong and a weapon turns out to be good, and I can tell you that the former on this is going to be worth it if you can get over the initial wonkiness of the way the weapon functions. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I will have other videos on my Zephyr build coming soon. I've got one coming for Redeemer Prime, so I hope you're looking forward to those, and I shall catch you in the next one.